Parents, are you trying to find a way that will get our children to love reading or to read without a fight? The goal isn't perfection, it is to build a love for reading. In this second video in our summer series, I'm going to talk to you about 5 ways that we can help to build a love for reading with our children. One of the first things that we have to think about and to do is to not force them into reading books that we think that they would like. It's reading books that will be an enjoyment for them. So let them choose the book. Maybe your child is into dinosaurs. Maybe they're into robots. Maybe they're into dolls. Maybe they're into puzzles and how to do those things. Let them choose the book, because when they choose the book, that ownership also builds something inside of them. They are more likely to read when they have ownership and when they're reading books that they enjoy. The second thing that I want us to look at is to read together, not just to them. So make reading about quality time. Make it about a time where you spend together. And we find that parents, once the children get to an age where they can read, we no longer read bedtime stories to them. We let them read. But children still enjoy that part of it. They still enjoy when we read to them. You know, there are ways that we can make it fun when we're reading to them. Now that they're of a certain age, let's be creative in our thinking. So when we're reading, let's try reading alternate pages. So I will read one page and my child will read the other. Then I read the other page and my child will read the other. So it keeps that kind of momentum and fun into it. The other thing that we can do is to maybe use different voices when we're reading. When you're reading a book, get into the character of the story. Choose the voices, make it fun and animated when we're reading. If you're reading about animals and it's the sound of the animals, make the sound of the animals with them. I can give you an example. I was doing a reading with one of my books called My Voice, My Superpower. And when I was in front of those children, I said, let's go. We're going to clap every time I say my voice. And that was so much fun for them because the book is about my voice. So can you imagine us reading, and every time I say my voice, you get a clap. And then some of them are like off track and trying to clap. That kind of energy, it brings out the fun in reading. So it's not just stiff and we're just reading the story, but we're getting into it. Laugh together. Enjoy the reading. You show them that reading is fun. And the third thing I want to talk about is that it comes back to the first thing, is that when children read books that they really love, they'll get into it. And sometimes we think that they hate reading, but it's not that they hate reading, it's that they just haven't found the book that they enjoy. And I found that with my daughters too. I would give them books and they would, oh, it's so painful to want to read, all of that. But the minute that they found a book that they enjoyed, that book was done within a day. And I found it interesting. I thought to myself, so what's the difference between the book that I bought and the book that they chose? Because it was something that they were into. My daughters at the time started getting into their first chapter books and the mystery novels. And they would take a book that is this thick and go through it. The entire, it's like they didn't want to put down the book. And that was like eye-opening for me because they're at different stages. And the books that I was choosing for them didn't interest them. They were now into the science experiments book. They were into the chapter books. They were into the mysteries and solving those things. So find books that match their passion, and you will be surprised at how much fun you will see them sit down and not want to put down that book until they were done. I'm telling you, right? The fourth thing I want to talk about is, as I've mentioned in my previous video, is making reading part of your everyday life. And you'll be surprised. Invite those little ones, and I'm talking about the ages 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, because that's what I'm geared towards. Invite those little ones to read things around the house. Let them read the grocery list that you're making. Let them read the recipes on the containers. Let them read when you're driving. Let them read the signs on the road. If you're going to play a game and you're taking out the game, let them try to read the instructions on it. This will help them to see that reading is not only fun and it's not a chore, but it's also useful because it is necessary as a part of everyday life. Once you do that, you're going to see the shift and the change in them. Celebrate their progress, not perfection. So that's the fifth thing I want to talk about. Let's not focus on whether they can now move on to chapter books. Let's try encouraging them, encouraging statements. And this is not just for parents, but teachers of junior students or primary students. Encourage them, celebrate them, let them know you figured that word out on your own. You've read for 10 minutes today. Wow. I love how you keep trying. These are words that will encourage them. These are words that will uplift them. And the point of it all is to empower our children to want to read, to enjoy reading, so that we don't have to fight when we're telling them to read. It's not, as I told you in my last video, as Caribbean people, one of the things our parents would say to us is, go take up your book. Everything. If you wanted to play, go take up your book. If you wanted to do anything, did you read today? And so it felt more like a chore than something that we wanted our children to enjoy. So children are imitators. And if they see us do something, even for a few minutes, they're going to want to do it. So even just for a few minutes, I encourage you parents, take up a book and read. Let your children see you reading, and they will imitate you, because that is a powerful message that you are sending to them. Don't just tell them what to do. Show them what to do. Find a little nook on an evening after your dinner is done. Sit down and take up your book instead of scrolling on your phone. Show them exactly how you want them to be. Children are imitators. Reading shouldn't feel like a chore or a battle. It should feel like an adventure. So make reading an adventure. Let them choose the book. Read together. Connect books with what they love and celebrate their wins. When we make reading enjoyable instead of a chore, then it's not stressful for us, and it's not stressful for them either. We're not just raising readers. We're trying to raise confident readers, curious future leaders. So until next time, let's continue raising confident readers, inspire dreamers, and develop our future readers. See you in the next video.